All right, what's going on, everybody? So yesterday was the 2018 Video Game Awards, and I did the live stream to, watch it with the viewers and do a live reaction viewing. But I still wanted to just do a overall recap and review and give my thorough thoughts on, all the winners, all the announcements, and all the trailers that we saw last night. So I'm gonna try to swiftly go through that now. So let's start out with the award winners. So let's start out with the most important award, Game of the Year. Now, for the record, I don't look at these media game award shows as like the gospel. They're not the end all be all authority on what is and what isn't. This is strictly for entertainment, really. So, regardless of what they deem to be Game of the Year, listen, if you feel God of War isn't Game of the Year, then it's not Game of the Year. That's how I look at it. Regardless of who would have won, God of War would have been my Game of the Year. I made the video on it just a few days ago. Listen, God of War is my Game of the Year. It doesn't matter what anybody else say. People are, all people are equal in their opinion. So there's no authority on it. But God of War won Game of the Year. It aligned up with my opinion. The only other competitor, if we're being real, was Red Dead Redemption 2. And I think once people saw past, the glitz and the glamour and the smoke and mirrors of Red Dead and being so amazed by the open world, I think once the veil was gone and the rose-colored Rockstar glasses were gone, people kind of saw through that, and the game honestly has a lot of flaws. It wasn't the most complete game. It wasn't the most complete game in every dimension to me. And it took, I just feel like I saw it quicker than other people. Now, the more and more weeks pass by and more people play, Red Dead Redemption, they start to see flaws that they didn't see before. They start to see some systems and the way that game is designed that certain parts of that game is a facade, and it's kind of empty. It's still possibly a second runner up or third runner up for Game of the Year. Absolutely, not saying the game is trash at all. I gave it an 8.8, but to me, it wasn't the complete game that God of War was. So I agree. God of War was Game of the Year. Best action game, Dead Cells won that. I never played Dead Cells. Best action adventure game, God of War won that also. So God of War won 2 awards. Best role-playing game, Monster Hunter World. No, I don't really have any opinion on that. I didn't play Monster Hunter. Best game direction, God of War. Oh, so God of War actually won 3 awards. Thought it was 2. Best narrative, Red Dead Redemption 2. I actually disagreed with that. I felt Detroit should have won that for, obviously several reasons. I would have even took Life is Strange 2. I've never played Life is Strange, but from what I know about that game, I think that is, it was the better choice for that. Best ongoing game, Fortnite. We saw that coming. Best art direction, Return of the Obra Dinn. I have no idea what that is. I don't even think I've even seen that game. But okay. Best score or music, Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 has a great soundtrack, but I disagree with this. I would have. Some people said that Octopath should have won, and I didn't play Octopath, but I did listen to some of the soundtrack. I would have to agree with that. I don't think that game had the best OST or music. Best audio design, Red Dead Redemption 2 also won that. Best independent game, Celeste. Best performance, Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan. Early in the show, it was definitely looked like a Red Dead Redemption sweep, and it was looking like Red Dead Redemption was going to win everything. Games for Impact, Celeste. Best mobile game, Florence. Best VR AR game, Astrobot Rescue Mission. That game was praised to hell. I think some people were surprised at how good that game turned out to be, especially being a VR AR game. So some people were just really shocked by how good I think it was the level design in that game was. I can't play VR games, unfortunately. Well, I don't really care that I can't. I wouldn't say unfortunately. VR games make me sick. I just don't think they're at the point yet with technology where VR is an experience that everybody can experience. It still makes some people nauseous. So I can't play VR games. Best fighting game, Dragon Ball Fighters won that. No disagreement here. I felt it was going to win. Best family game, Overcooked 2. Never played Overcooked, but I think I called that in my predictions. Best strategy game, Into the Breach. I don't know what the hell that is. Best sports racing game, Forza Horizon 4. I thought that was I said that could either be FIFA or Forza, but Forza usually, the Horizon at least series usually wins an award like that. Best multiplayer game, Fortnite. Best student game, Combat 2018. Best debut indie game, The Messenger. Best esports game, Overwatch. Best esports player, Sonic Fox. So, listen, Sonic Fox is definitely an amazing player. Because I watch all the major tournaments, even the smaller tournaments. So I've seen him play. I've been watching Sonic Fox for years. Like when he was struggling to like win a major tournament because he was this YOLO god, and anybody who knows, who's been watching him knows exactly what that means. So I've seen him rise and win multiple Evos. Is he an absolute weirdo? The dude is a top-notch, cringe-worthy weirdo, bro. Like, and but can't take away from him. Dude's a beast at several fighting games. A lot of people doubted him, saying that he could never cross over and play fighters. He could never play Marvel, and he dominated a lot of people because he's usually another realm, Mortal Kombat, Injustice type of player. He crossed over and was able to beat a lot of pros at their own game. So he's a top notch weirdo, cringeworthy. I can't stand when he talks sometimes, but he's a beast at fighting games. Best esports team, Cloud9. Best esports coach, Reaper. Best esports event. They had a lot of freaking esports categories this year. Best esports event, League of Legends World Championship. Best esports host, Effie Jocks. Best esports moment, C9 Comeback. And content creator of the year, Ninja. So yeah, now let's get into the show and the announcement. So the main thing I didn't like about the show was a few things. One, it ran a little bit too long. It felt bloated. It didn't have like the cringeworthy promotion and marketing like was it last year when they had the Chic Hydro Man or something? There was no like terrible moments like that exactly, but it still felt very long and bloated. I feel like they could have cut some of this fat out. And the other problem was this show was like 3 hours long, but the show wasn't all about the award winners, right? Because some major categories they announced on the fly, where they like, oh, the winner for this award is so and so, and then they skip right past into the next award. Because they choose some awards to have like a formal walk up and acceptance speech, but other categories that are major categories, they just like announced the winner and skipped right over it. Those winners for the studio for that game didn't really get a moment. I'm like, but y'all are filling this 3-hour show with all this bloating and all these moments we don't really need, but you're like robbing those people of their moment. And I'm like, For like minor categories, I can understand you skipping right past that. But for major categories, I'm like, why are you doing that? Like we would rather see the winners come on stage and speak about, their game and give their acceptance and everything like that. Of course, with gamers are just awkward people in general sometimes. The ones that happen to be in these award shows. So, there was a few cringe-worthy moments. I can't say it was the worst. I think the production of the show has gotten better over the few years. Jeff Keighley is definitely doing a better job, and I do think it is getting better, maybe as far as like pacing and an overall production. Just to talk about, some of the announcements and trailers, I'm going to try to get to all of them. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order, exclusively for Switch. Now listen to me. I could care less that this thing is exclusive for Switch. I would have no interest in Ultimate Alliance regardless, okay? I played 1. I played a little bit of 2. I think 2 was the one that was trash. And like nobody cared about this game prior. You didn't hear nobody talking about Ultimate Alliance, this generation. You never heard the words Ultimate Alliance this generation. You didn't hear nobody say, oh man, I'm really hoping that they make another Ultimate Alliance. And let's be honest, the game looked trash. It looked like some 30 frame flash mobile game. It didn't look good. So regardless that nobody was asking for it, because there was a lot of people fake hype when nobody was like checking or hoping for a sequel to Ultimate Alliance 2. On top of that, the game looked bad. Okay, it looked bad. The animations looked terrible. It looked extremely dated. So even if it had looked good, I would have been like, okay, but it looked terrible. So it just looked bad. Not a game I would check for regardless. I don't care what platform it on. I would not be checking for that. Rocket League, McLaren pack, they still supporting Rocket League. Far Cry New Dawn. So we got the Far Cry leak prior to the show, and we already knew it was going to be some backlash. Some people calling it the SJW Far Cry and everything like that. And we see this trend and this agenda in the industry that some people think is going on. Not denying that there isn't one. And the two antagonists are actually these two black females. Some people thought they might have been the protagonists, but they're actually the antagonists. The game takes place after Far Cry 5, which I'm actually playing right now. I think they said maybe a decade, maybe I think it might have been 14 years. I heard after the events of Far Cry 5, and this is a standalone game, but it's actually not being sold at like $60. I just pre-ordered it for like $30. I think it was on Green Man Gaming. So yeah, and listen. All I'll say is I understand like people don't like the feeling of them. They don't like the thought of their game being hijacked for an agenda. But my only thing is I have to say is you can't say, because if we're being real with ourselves, every Far Cry since 3 has typically been the same. I did not play Primal, but I played every other Far Cry. Far Cry 3 is the same as Far Cry 4. Minimal difference. Far Cry 4 is the same as Far Cry 5. Minimal difference. So this is, with a few differences, New Dawn is probably going to be the same as Far Cry 5 and the rest of them, with a few exceptions. So you can't be like, oh, I love Far Cry 3, 4, and 5, and suddenly be like, oh, I hate New Dawn. Why? Because of the upfront presentation? No, if you like the game because of the gameplay, you can't, and it's probably gonna be the same thing. You can't suddenly hate New Dawn, especially when you haven't played it. So that's just if we're being real with ourselves. So I'm gonna play that game. Hades, that was the game made by the same studio that made god damn it, what is it called? Transistor? I think it was Transistor. I know Jack Mujani is gonna like that game. It looks cool. I wasn't all the way into Transistor. I might be thinking of the wrong game. I think it was Transistor. So that's not really something that I'm looking forward to personally. Scavengers was another game, but it was like a cinematic trailer announcement. I'm not completely sure what it's about. It's by a new studio, Midwinter Entertainment. It's a multiplayer survival shooter with space rangers that crash land on Earth and everything like that. The most thing I was excited for, and I got hyped during my live stream, was Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, the Crash Team Racing remake. I'm so excited. The game comes out June 21st. Oh, by the way, Far Cry New Dawn comes out February. Yeah, but Crash Team Racing, man, I can't wait for that. They confirmed online multiplayer. It even has split screen, a throwback feature. So I'm just ecstatic for that. I can't wait to play online. Hopefully they've kept like the racing mechanic code that's the same pretty much. Outer Worlds is a new game by Obsidian. Obsidian is becoming the new darling child in a way. Because people feel like they made the last Fallout game, so anybody who hates Bethesda right now loves Obsidian. So their new game is called Outer Worlds, and it has like it's a first person game that has like a Borderlands feel to it. People are saying, single player shooter on a distant planet. It looks cool. I'm interested. The Last Campfire is a game made by Hello Games. I think it's made by Hello Games. Not something I'm really interested in. PUBG, new winter map. PUBG is on PS4, of course. I like PUBG on PC. It had its moment, but it's something I am definitely no longer interested in at all anymore. So yeah, and I have no interest in even trying that on PS4. Ashen, this game has been officially released now, right? Ashen is a Dark Souls style RPG that got like stealth release. It's now available on Xbox One and PC. People have been waiting for it for a while. Dread Wolf Rises. Dread Wolf Rises. BioWare. It's a game that BioWare teased. The trailer didn't really tell us much though. We just know it's a BioWare game. Yeah. So this is probably the Dragon Age game that they were teasing. Pathless. Pathless is a game from the creators of Abzu. It's an adventure game with an interesting art style, beautiful music and everything like that. Yeah. Mortal Kombat 11. We got a cinematic announcement trailer for that. These cinematic trailers usually hint towards how different the gameplay will be, because usually each Mortal Kombat they don't make it the same mechanically. They try to introduce some type of new feature to differentiate it from the last one. I won't be buying Mortal Kombat. It's not I like Mortal Kombat, but I know it's not one of the things I'll really have time to play, honestly. So it's not something that I'll be buying. Psychonauts 2, not a game I'm not interested in. Fortnite, The Block was introduced. I don't care about Fortnite. I don't like it at all. Rage 2 coming out May 14th. Something I'm very excited about. Already got that, pre-ordered. Green Man Gaming was pretty much having a sale. If you pre-order games on Green Man Gaming right now, you could get 10 to 20% off depending on the game. So I pre-ordered a whole bunch of games to get that discount, because I know there are some games I'm definitely going to want. Rage 2 was one of them. So I'm very excited for that. I was one of the people who defended Rage. I didn't think the first game was as bad as people said it would be. And even if it was, I still felt it had the potential to be much better. So it's definitely a game I'm very excited for, and it's coming out May 14th. Joker is going to be is going to be Smash Bros Ultimate DLC. That's good for people who care about that. So it seems like Epic Games lined the pockets of Jeff Keighley, because we saw a lot of promotion for Epic Games Store, and all of these damn publishers are launching their own proprietary store. Journey, I don't know. Was Journey even made with their engine? Because I think I saw Journey is going to be in their store, and we saw a whole bunch of other games are going to be in the Epic Games store. So yeah, anybody that wants to check that out. There was a moment towards the beginning of the show. I think they opened up. Phil Spencer, Sean Layden, and Reggie Fils-Aimé were all on stage together. That was a big moment for people. People were saying, oh, these heads of all these competing companies are cool. Why can't we get along? I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chief. I don't want people in this community to get along, because that's what makes it exciting. Y'all can keep pretending y'all want this community to be peaceful and all this kumbaya shit. Listen, what am I gonna be laughing at work when I'm bored? Okay, what am I gonna be laughing at on Twitter if I don't got these fanboys fighting each other? Let's be real. That's not really what we want. We don't want shit to get to an escalated level where dudes actually trying to fight each other. But these jokes, of course, yeah, we want these jokes. We got to get these jokes off on each other. We want fanboys to be clowning each other. Forget what you talking about. Okay, leave the professionalism up to the heads of these companies. We got to get these jokes off. There's a Stranger Things, throwback style 16-bit video game. Atlas is a game made by the creators of Ark Survival Evolved. They said it's a much bigger game than that. It's an open world survival MMO. We also got like an Anthem story trailer. I'm still skeptical about Anthem. By the way, I'm in the Anthem beta or Anthem alpha, so I actually get to play it tomorrow. I'm still very skeptical about the release date. I don't know. And they asked one of the developers last night. And he was like, "It's coming out February," and he was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, I don't know. Didn't seem like a lot of confidence in his voice. I feel like Anthem still might get delayed, but and we're playing an alpha. a few months when it's supposed to come out in February? Shouldn't we be playing a beta technically? I don't know. I feel like it's either coming out too early and it's gonna be like very incomplete, or it's gonna get delayed. We got Stanley Parable, extra deluxe edition, some shit. Journey to a Savage Planet. That's by a new studio called Typhoon Studios, founded last year by Far Cry 4's director. Among Trees. I'm not sure. So Among Trees is apparently is a sandbox survival game. So a lot of this stuff didn't really tell us much or show us much. So we just have to go off of like basic teasers and stuff. Devil May Cry 5. The demo is actually available on Xbox right now, and Ancestors. So Ancestors is another open world survival game. Like we don't got enough of those already. So yeah, that is pretty much a recap of most of what we saw at the 2018 Game Awards. So it was pretty decent. I wouldn't say this show was absolutely terrible. It definitely had its lows and its lulls where it's like, okay, I'm kind of ready for this to end. It ran a little late. It felt a little boring at parts. But I just think they need to figure out how to condense it. I know they got to pay the bills and everything like that with the promotions and the sponsorships and the commercials and all that. They got to pay the bills. But listen, you got to find a way to shorten that show a little bit, condense it, because it started at 8:30 and it ended at 12, I believe. So that's what, 3.5 hours. Yeah, I don't think a Game Award should be that short. But there was some things we didn't see. People were hoping. Some people were hoping for like Metroid, a Metroid Prime announcement. I know a lot of Nintendo fans were hoping that would be there. And there are a few other things that people were hoping for that they didn't see. But I guess we gotta wait till E3. So yeah, let me know what y'all thought about the awards. Appreciate all y'all. Love y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the notification bell, and yeah, check out. Make sure you watch out for some of my future videos. I got my Battlefield 5 review coming pretty soon in the next few days. I got my top 10 games of this year coming out. My top 10 most anticipated games for next year. Also got my Darksiders 3 review coming pretty soon, most likely, whenever THQ decides to finally fix this game-breaking bug I'm experiencing. But like I said, they replied to me back and said they're working on it. So whenever that is. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.